So here's how you grow your first 1,000 followers. And hint, we're not gonna talk about random algorithm hacks that don't really work at all. We're gonna talk about the real sustainable stuff. And most importantly, we talk about high quality followers as opposed to 1,000 random people that are for nothing, let's face it. Anyway, let's get going, my friends. Welcome back, my friends, and hello, my name is Dominic. If you're new here, I help people grow on social media. I help people grow their personal brand, and I own an Instagram-specific marketing agency. And what we do a lot is actually help people grow, from the beginning, help people grow until the first 1,000 followers, which is what we're gonna focus today. Because I see a lot on the internet, I see lots of bad advice. I'll tell you how it is. First of all, lots of bot advice, engagement group advice, other stuff, and like some other very basic stuff, which is true, but there's some more things that you should keep in mind. You need some sort of underlying structure to set yourself up and actually grow sustainably. So let me get into it. So basically, this whole thing is kind of like a pyramid scheme, meaning you need two things. Pyramid has three things, right? Anyway, you're gonna need two things. First of all is the content part, which divides itself again into things like profile optimization and branding principles, for example, to actually set yourself apart from all the other parts. And secondly, you need some sort of traffic. You need some sort of way to get people to your optimized profile and your content. The best profile won't get you far without the traffic. But in order to actually convert the traffic to followers and more importantly fans that actually care about you, you need some sort of structures in place. So what's important there? First of all, you need some sort of basic branding principles set up for you. Think to yourself, am I just a random Instagram profile that just posts pictures, or am I a brand that lets people relate with you? And this is actually already the answer to a lot of engagement problems out there. Think about, are you a brand or are you just an Instagram account? Which leads me to another big thing. It's actually not about you, it's about them. It's about your followers. And a lot of people tend to forget that. People out there, they're just looking to get followers really quickly. They want to blow up using some sort of algorithm hack, some sort of weird thing. But in reality, that doesn't help at all. You need to find your audience and you need to find their problems, problems that they have, and you need to try to solve their problems, or ideally actually solve them. Now, depending on your niche, it could be anything from solving actually their problems to just entertainment value or something in between, but you need to know your audience for that. That's why you need to do a lot of testing with your audience. What kind of content? What's actually giving value to my audience? Because in the end, they should come back to your profile, come back to your content, because they know what they can expect from you, because they know they get some sort of value from your post every time. And which is another thing, by the way, is being predictable. And a lot of the times people talk about you have to have a niche, and it's actually true, you have to have a niche, and this is exactly what they mean with it. You have to be expectable. Expectable, is that word? Predictable. Yeah, you have to be predictable. Next thing is actually the bio. You need to structure your bio in a way that when people come to your profile, they know right away, all right, this is what the account is about. And I see that a lot when doing account reviews. By the way, we're gonna do an account review pretty soon. People just don't know what to expect. Again, ties back again. They just don't know, what is this profile about? And ideally, this should happen within the first second. And while the bio is actually just a little small part of the whole cake, it can actually make the whole difference between person, being on the fence of following you, and then they see the bio, oh, remember, this is about them. I'm gonna follow you. I'm gonna follow this person, right? So remember that. Right, so you've done that all. You kind of set up your profile. You have some sort of structure in place. You have branding elements. People know what to expect from you. You give out value to your followers. You're predictable. You have content that's within a niche. Now it's time for the traffic part, right? And first of all, for all of you newbies out there that have never watched a video of mine, the most important advice here is to not believe in anything people say about, in order to get your first 1,000 followers, you need to go into a common pot, engagement group, power likes, any sort of that will just hurt your account. Short version, all the people that know me already know this, so just close your ears for the next 20 seconds. This will hurt your account. Instagram just knows what's gonna happen. Instagram just knows what's up, you know? They just know you're doing some sort of shady tactics. They're gonna lower your trust score. That's why your engagement is going to drop. That's why you're being super angry and, you know, text me all the time. Because you don't need to have that many followers in order to be considered successful, in order to, for example, quit your job. I have a video about that, my latest video, by the way. You should check it out if you haven't. Anyway. Now, how do you really grow? First of all, hashtags. Important thing, it's not as important as it used to be, unfortunately. You know, back in the days, you could actually do some sort of real hashtag tactics and you would know right away, all right? I'm gonna use these kinds of hashtags. I'm gonna get lots of impressions from these hashtags and I'm gonna grow a lot from these hashtags. We did it a lot back in the day. Doesn't work, unfortunately, anymore. But still, if you approach the whole hashtag game with some sort of system, actually, it can help you a lot. For example, first of all, so put in hashtags that are really closely related to whatever this post is about. Don't just copy and paste them. Don't just repeat all the same hashtags over and over again. And actually don't overdo it with hashtags. Don't use all 30. Used to be like that. Right now, don't use them. You'll be faster in growing your first 1,000 followers like that. And then you should do a little bit of research actually for your hashtags. See, okay, what are my chances of ranking? See, okay, these hashtags have, you know, an average of, I don't know, 500 likes, 20 comments. Okay, I could rank potentially in this hashtag, and so forth. So you kind of have to do a little bit of preparation, a little bit of research. I actually use a tool called Hashatory. It actually lets you filter all these hashtags, lets you know which hashtags to take. It's not that bad, so if you want to use it, I have the link in the description for all of you. Now, if you've optimized all these things, now it's time to actually start engaging with your community. At the beginning, it's gonna be not that many people, but still, it's important. And listen closely, my friends. Reply to each and every comment, especially at the beginning. You know, likers even. Try to engage some sort of interaction between you and them. Use some stories to, you know, question stories and try to just spark some sort of, you know, conversation, relationship between you and your followers. And they're gonna thank you for that. And by the way, sorry if I don't reply to each and every one of your comments. I'm terribly sorry for that. I'm gonna try my best though. Anyway, do that, and then it's time to actually dissect your target audience and dissect your competitors. Because that's what you should do as well. Maybe even with a piece of paper and a pen. Who are the people who are the same as you? And if you're like, there's no one just like me, of course there's no one just like you, but there's lots of people who are doing the same thing as you. And if there's no one at all, chances could be that it's not a cool thing. Because, for example, lots of people that interact with Gary Vee. You know, I know lots of people already do that. Maybe you'll find some smaller sort of influencers, not just Gary Vee, and just spark up a conversation in the comments with them. First of all, it's gonna help the creator. Second of all, it's gonna help the people. It's gonna make people aware of you, that they're like, oh, this is actually very interesting. This is a small creator, and lots of people like to see small creators just because they're small, they're not mainstream, they kind of are more real in a way. And this is, by the way, why a lot of companies now focus a lot more on micro influencers as opposed to, you know, the bigger ones, which is kind of a bummer for the bigger ones, but it's good for the micro influencers. Anyway, do that, but not in a spammy kind of way. Don't say like, oh, look at me, I do the same thing as heyDominik, for example. Look at me, blah, blah, blah. No, be real. The big keyword for 2019, be real. Spark up conversations with them. People are gonna come, and if you've optimized your profile all the steps that we talked about right now, I'm sure you're gonna be with 1,000 followers more or less in not a long time. I tell you that for sure. But don't forget, it's not just about the 1,000 followers, because I see it a lot. People just care about the followers. They're like, oh, I want 10,000, 100,000 followers. I want 1,000 followers, and of course it's good, because the more people, the better. But still, if you watch my latest video, which I have linked, I tell you that it depends on the quality of your followers. So if you build this whole system up, if you kind of, for example, you want to quit your job or anything like that, you build it up, like I just said, to just 1,000 followers. But those 1,000 followers are really, really engaging with you. They're really into your stuff because, you know, they're high quality. You know, it could be enough. You could launch some products. You could have anything at all, and people are gonna love that. People are gonna buy your services, whatever you want to do, and this is good as opposed to, you know, some random followers. So don't just focus on, you know, the numbers. Focus actually on the quality, the engagement. But I talked about that in my latest video. Anyway, if you do these kinds of strategies that I just said, the quality of your followers is going to be super high. I guarantee you that. Anyway, I've got a super unexpected announcement out there. I've updated my personal branding and Instagram course out there called Unemployed to version 2019. And basically, if you don't know what that is, we go through step by step everything, all the basics that you need to know to grow a brand sustainably. Basically, what we talked about right now, but you know, more in depth. We're talking about how to actually optimize your profile. We're talking about how to build that bond between you and the followers. We're gonna all the branding things. We've got some exercises in there to actually make you stand out from the crowd, to make you unique, to, you know, make people know, all right, this is a very interesting person. I'm gonna follow this. You know, all these things. We're gonna talk about growth hacking strategies. We're gonna talk about marketing strategies. We're gonna talk about content, finding a consistent content, how to actually every time give value with your posts, stuff like that. We have exercises to actually solidify this whole thing, to actually make you think about it yourselves. Anyway, I don't want to talk too much. It's actually launching right now, unexpectedly right now. I've linked it down below. Anyway, my name is Dominik. Hope you can use this to actually grow your first 1,000 followers. Comment down below when you got your first 1,000 followers, you know, and if it's 2 months from now, comment down below. I just want to know. Anyway, if you got some questions, you know, just comment down below. I will answer them all. And by the way, my name is Dominik. I love you, my friends, and I'll see you in a couple of days. Bye-bye.